Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for the second webinar in our Wire and Cable Application Series. Today's webinar on the U.S. steel industry is brought to you by Service Wire Company. Since 1968, Service Wire has been committed to producing the finest quality American-made wire and cable products while providing industry-leading service levels. We're pleased to have Rodney Smith on the call with us today. Rodney has over 25 years of sales and management experience. For the past 6 years, he's focused on industrial and commercial wire and cable sales in the Midwest. Over the next hour, Rodney will review the current U.S. steel market, application-specific challenges and solutions, where low-voltage copper wire and cable is used, and how to identify opportunities in your territory. There will be a question and answer session after the presentation. Please feel free to share any of your questions in the chat box, and we'll be happy to review those on the call or to follow up with you after the webinar. Rodney, are you ready to talk about wire and cable in the steelmaking industry?
Thank you, Rachel, and thanks again to everyone joining today. The steel industry has faced a whirlwind of challenges over the last couple of years. A hiatus in construction projects in 2020, ongoing worldwide pandemic, supply chain issues, domestically and abroad, and now a ban on imported products. Despite these challenges, robust demand has allowed U.S. steel production to take control of the market. But these key players need wire and cable to keep production running and forge ahead in this multi-million-dollar industry. Illustrated here, you can see how steel demand rose 2.7% in 2021 to 1.83 billion metric tons, and a World Steel Association is forecasting demand to edge up 0.4% in 2022 and grow 2.2% further by 2023. While the outlook is still highly uncertain, the macroeconomic recovery post-lockdown was stronger than expected. In fact, many U.S. steelmakers reported 2021 as a transformational year, reinvesting in their business and planning for future gains. The company U.S. Steel announced record results for Q4 and FY21 with net earnings at $1.069 billion and $4.174 billion, respectively. Nucor also reported a 97% year-over-year increase in net sales. 2022 is shaping up to be a game-changing year for the U.S. steelmakers as well. The ongoing economic sanctions, supply-demand imbalance, and passing of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act is tipping the scale in their favor. As a result, Nucor, Cleveland-Cliffs, Steel Dynamics, and U.S. Steel have seen ramps in their stock prices while trading at or near historically low valuations. As shown in the chart, you can see the comparative 6-month return for these companies from October 2021 through March 2022. Between 2021 and 2023, there will be an estimated $16 billion of total investment value in steel capacity based on work that has already been commissioned, is near completion, or has been recently announced. That's a lot of wire, cable, and other electrical equipment for us to sell. Much of this growth is projected for the automotive and infrastructure sectors. We're talking new castings of steel panels, bridges, rebar, inroads, structural steel, and more. Reports show that automotive alone has consumed about 12 to 13% of available demand in early 2022. And steel looks like it will play a stronger role in the future as more and more people move to EVs. In fact, the growing automobile industry is a major factor leading to growth of the high-strength steel market. Big players include ArcelorMittal, Cleveland-Cliffs, Jordo Special Steel, Nucor, Steel Dynamics, and U.S. Steel, just to name a few. Service Wire has worked with many high-strength steel producers, including Steel Dynamics. We recently partnered with them on one greenfield facility in Sinton, Texas. This mill wanted to implement the latest technology in electric arc furnace, steel making that rivaled existing technology and blast furnace models. Electric arc furnace technology, or EAF, uses scrap as a main source of material and uses electricity as its main source of energy. It offers the end user a low initial cost, takes up less floor space, and decreases production time. This technology allows mills to produce high-strength flat rolled steel while following a corporate-level sustainability model. This method is actually becoming quite popular because companies can recycle scrap instead of bringing new ore and creating steel on site. Plus, the scrap being the main source of raw material, this allows facilities to pop up all over the country wherever they can source a large amount of scrap. For the Sinton EAF job in particular, our industrial experts worked on the ground with the end users, contractors, engineers, and regional distributors to secure the cable order. We were able to help specify supply bare copper, single conductors, and drive cable for this new facility. We use cable management to lock in pricing and adjust time of delivery to ship direct to the job site. More on that in a little bit. The takeaway here is that we have the knowledge and experience to help you secure a wide range of steelmaking projects, including facilities utilizing this new EAF technology. So, where can you find these projects popping up and how can you secure the wire and cable bids? Service Wire uses a wide range of available tools and free resources to find opportunity. You can review Dodge reports from Construct Connect, Industrial Info Resource, IIR PEC reports, industry publications, engineering associations, and so on. These tools can help you pinpoint specific jobs in a bid and buy stage like we've done here on this map. Historically, you will see more steel projects in the eastern United States mirroring the mining and railroad development of the 1800s. However, we are seeing more rebar mills popping up out west in California, Colorado, and Texas. This development is really driven by market penetration and raw material availability. Watch for trends in your market as new projects come online. Now that we have an understanding of where to look for steel opportunities, we need to be aware of the specific challenges. Like most industrial verticals, U.S. steel manufacturers are trying to level set the supply and demand for their product while continuing to be profitable in an uncertain market. The steel industry has a history of mirroring overall market conditions, demand increase during economic booms, and plummets during global recession. But it's not exact science. A looming recession could slow development, but with difficulty of sourcing product from China, for example, it may affect the industry as much as affect the industry as much as you think. Regardless, the manufacturer must find a way to bridge the gap, ensuring they are prepared to meet increased demand but bankroll projects in harsher economic climates. As new technologies come along, they must also juggle industry old traditions with modernized expansions. New facilities are coming online every day, challenging competitors. We're seeing EAFs, hot rolled steel processing, rebar steel manufacturing, and the pickle process in many mills. On top of that, many companies are faced with changing landscapes of mergers, acquisitions, and import-export tariffs to and from foreign countries. U.S. made steel is so critical. It intersects with so many different industries. It underpins everything from automotive to infrastructure, making machines to construction of high-rise buildings. A low supply in steel has a lasting ripple effect in our overall economy. In terms of wire and cable, let's focus on a few challenges inside the steelmaking facility. Exposure to high heat, water, abrasions, and having multiple VFDs in a process. The ambient temperature in steel processing can average about 150 degrees plus, requiring plants to need cables built to withstand fluctuating temperatures. And to cool their products, water and other solutions are utilized throughout the process. Steel mills have their own water treatment plants moving large amounts of water, purifying it before it re-enters the process. These water cooling and filtering applications can use medium voltage drives and also employ multiple 250 up to 350 horsepower motors driven by low voltage VFDs. Some facilities could have 15 to 20 or more low voltage variable frequency drives in one plant process alone. This can significantly vary by size and facility type. Having multiple drives so close together can really wreak havoc on your overall system if the proper cable termination methods are not implemented. Last but not least, cables need to be built tough to withstand a harsh environment. Think about it. It takes large, heavy-duty equipment to move molten or hot steel through the process. This raw material must be formed and shaped into the end product. You need cable that's just as tough with built-in mechanical protection from abrasions and potential damage. The solution's simple. Steel mill improvements and new builds need dependable, industrial-grade wire and cable from a reliable supplier that can withstand their unique challenges. They prefer XLPE interconductors with superior insulation resistance, built-in mechanical protection from UL-type MC, and drive cable that can keep their lines running uninterrupted. After all, the goal of any plant in any industry is to maximize output and minimize downtime. Unplanned outages due to cable failure are unacceptable. So let's break it down in this application. Medium voltage cables connect the substations and transformers. Transformers then step down into lower voltage circuits, 480, 240, 208, 120, and so on. Our low voltage cable can be run underground into the building switchgear, where it can be stepped down even further into motor control centers, cabinets that control each process inside the facility. For example, water processing, furnaces, hot rolling, cooling beds, as shown here in the illustration. Cables can be installed in a combination of conduits and cable trays to reach their final destination inside the facility. In many industrial applications, we're seeing more end users move to cable tray for ease of installation and lower install costs. The steel industry, however, continues to select cable design best suited for their manufacturing process over these inherited cost savings. Typically, they prefer to keep as much cable underground as possible to protect the cables from heat and physical damage. We could easily run 100,000 plus feet of singles in underground conduit to reach the process from the transformers. However, when running cable overhead and between floors, home run cables, they will utilize cable trays. This includes multi-conductor tray cables and shielded drive cables. As shown, Service Wire's products can be used in an array of processes inside the steel mill. Our most widely product is steel making facilities are no lube Service Pro X, single conductors, dual rated tray cable, UL type MC, and service drive VFD cable. Let's talk a little bit about why each of the products are preferred for this application. Service Pro X single conductors are used in conduit, cable tray, duct banks, and direct barrel installations. We offer thermoset XHHW-2, USE-2, or RHW-2 in 14 gauge through 750 kc mil copper. All cables are CT rated, UL 600 volt 1 kV rated. Service Pro X is available and stocked in a wide range of industry standard colors and conductors, can be striped or numbered. Industrial end users only want thermoset XLPE cables like XHHW-2, USE-2, and RHW-2 because they're all made with cross-linked polyethylene instead of PVC nylon. XLPE products like the XHHW-2 highlighted here are more resistant to chemicals and abrasions and far less toxic than PVC in the event of a fire or corona discharge. In this comparison chart, you can see that ServiceWire's thermoset XHHW-2 has a dielectric constant of less than 3.5, meaning the cable's insulation has a greater ability to resist leakage current. And the cable insulation resistance is sustainably higher than PVC. This means the cable can handle more spikes and inrushes over longer periods of time while protecting critical circuits at risk of electrical interference from high leakage current. XHHW-2 also has a higher maximum and lower minimum temperature rating, protecting the cable in open air installations. And the thermoset XLPE compound has almost 5 times the crush resistance, providing to be more durable cable. Our tray cable is suitable for installations in cable trays supported by messenger wire in open air raceways, channels, conduit, and ducts. Tray cable is available in 600 volt 1 kV dual rated, shielded or non-shielded, with flame retardant, moisture, and chemical resistant jackets. Available in CPE, low smoke, zero halogen for industrial applications. When required, shielded tray can be installed in steel mills. The shield can be applied helically or longitudinally over a cable core. Shielding acts as a Faraday cage to reduce electrical noise from affecting the signals and to reduce electromagnetic radiation that may interfere with other devices. Helically applied shielding is more common for industrial applications. ServiceWire's tray cable is also TCER rated per the National Electric Code. It is permitted to transition up to 6 feet without continuous support and exposed into free air. This allows the cable to transition from the cable tray to a motor, avoiding the use of flex conduit. Armored cable offers all the protection of conduit without the added cost. UL Type MC is suitable for direct burial installations and applications, include power circuits and hazard locations, designated as Class 1 Div 2 and Class 2 Div 2. ServiceWire offers 3 different jacket types, but CPE and Enviro Plus low smoke zero halogen are recommended for all industrial applications. CPE is great for uses required higher levels of chemical resistance, such as chemical washdown. Low smoke zero halogen is designed to reduce flame smoke and secondary damage in case of fire. Our standard Enviro Plus jacket is made of thermoset compound with oil and chemical resistance critical in steelmaking facilities. VFD cables can be used in a wide range process inside of a steel mill. I've already mentioned their use in water, cooling, and filtering applications, but they can also be used in hot rolled steel process, for example. Hot rolled steel production utilizes large rollers to move product. We've seen facilities up to 200 plus rollers, with each roller having 10 horsepower motors powered by low voltage VFD. In this example, all of the cables were routed in covered cable tray to protect the cable from the heat. This application would be better suited for cable with a thermoset outer jacket because over time the heat will drive out the plasticizers in the PVC jacket, making it brittle. ServiceWire's Service Drive VFD cable is the perfect fit for these types of applications. The cable is insulated with heat and moisture resistant XLPE and covered with a copper tape shield and overall CPE or low smoke zero halogen jacket. The helically applied copper shield protects the cable from common VFD issues, such as EMI, common mode, straight current, motor bearing failure, and more. With so many motors and drives in a process, more EMI will inherently be generated into the environment. This can induce voltage or crosstalk onto adjacent cables and equipment, which can be dangerous to surrounding plant and personnel. The use of properly grounded shielded VFD cable to ground your VFDs. There are so many advantages to our award-winning service drive VFD system. I encourage everyone to check out our Introduction to VFD Cable course on ServiceWire Academy to learn more. In this free course, we cover an in-depth why proper cable design is so critical in these types of applications and how service drive eliminates and reduces common issues affecting drive performance. Now that you have an understanding of the applicable product, let's review what you need to know when bidding a steel job. Here's a list of questions you could ask when looking to write a wire cable order. Are we spec'd? Industrial projects are driven by their engineering specifications. If our product isn't on spec, we will need to work with the approving authorities. This really comes down to timing. The sooner you hear of a project, the easier it is for us to get on spec. If you have the specification document, send them to us or give us a call about the specification. If we're not on it, we can always offer free spec service or offer suitable alternative. Our team of experts is always here to ensure we can provide the right cable. Also, keep in mind that the spec may be global or local. If we are on a global spec, we can often get in the job at any location. What's the project timing? Once you know the spec, we also like to know the timing of the project. Are you looking for a bid or a buy price? Is the job we secure with copper contractor or a cable management project? When will you need the product in hand? Gathering all this information is critical. If you wait too long to order, we may not be able to deliver per the request. What's the anticipated lead time? We need to know the desired delivery date as well. If it's a greenfield or added on job, the lead time can vary. Typically, steel builds are by process unit. Project timing for each process may vary widely and affect the timing for the delivery. Not to worry, ServiceWire can take an order, ship or release, or offer adjusted time to delivery to meet installation schedule. On the other hand, shutdowns are urgent jobs requiring fast turnaround. ServiceWire's 24/7 emergency service is a great fit for this type of order. If you alert us of the urgency, we can work strategically to fill the job ASAP to get the plant back up and running. Another question, is the material purchased at the corporate or local level? Some end users will not do the buy at the corporate level, while others will deal with purchasing out of the subcontract. Again, this could be for the whole job or by unit process. We need to be certain in order to quote product that ensures a win. In most instances, the corporate level does the bigger buys, but always ask the follow-up question as to whether or not they'll allow the contractor to buy locally for smaller projects. If you aren't able to secure an initial larger bid, don't give up. You can always land small orders with ServiceWire thanks to our low minimums. If you're looking to pursue U.S. steel mill, ServiceWire is your best choice. Our low voltage copper XLPE insulated Service Pro X singles, dual rated tray cable UL type MC, and service drive VFD cable are built specifically for industrial projects. We have a full manufacturing and distribution capabilities in all three of our nationwide locations, We offer low minimum order quantities on special make items and quick lead times. This varies by product type and project timing, but we are pleased to be able to continue to outserve our competition. We can cut the length, we can offer master reels, provide custom packaging to minimize shipping damage, and ship direct to the job site. In fact, we have damage-free delivery rate 5 times better than industry average. Plus, every order leaving our facility is quality tested before shipment, ensuring you receive the best product from Service Wire. Before we get to any questions, I want to let everyone know that today's session will be available on demand later this month at go.servicewire.com/steel-on-demand. You will receive a follow-up email with additional information. Please feel free to refer this to any of your colleagues who may be interested in a webinar series. And finally, if you are interested in more application webinars, save the date, July 19th, for wire and cable wastewater treatment plants. Now we're going to open it up for any questions. Feel free to unmute or type any questions in the chat box. Otherwise, I appreciate everyone's time today, and I'm available at any time to discuss industrial projects on the horizon. Thank you.
Hey, Rodney, I've had a couple of questions come in throughout the webinar. The first one is, what is your recommendation for installing multiple single conductors in conduit or cable tray?
So we have also, we can take our singles and we twist our singles to make a service plex. So it's a twisted wire, and we can twist those together, and it's a great product for pulling in conduit, and 1/0 and larger is tray rated, so it's a very easy product to lay up in tray cable, and it's one of our fastest growing products. It's our service plex, it's our single conductors twisted together. So that would be a great recommendation.
Another one is, do you offer individual product training for cable types reviewed today?
Yes, we can schedule webinars in-person training sessions. We also have our Service Wire Academy, which comprises an online training module covering all of our product lines.
Got another one that says, can you restate the 3 jacket options you offer for tray cable, MC, and VFC cables?
Great question. So we have 3, we're pretty simple. We have 3 types of jackets. We have PVC, CPE, and low smoke zero halogen jackets.
Is your tray cable JP rated?
That I'll need to check on. I'm not positive on that. I'll need to look into that. But Rachel, if you could get the person that asked that question, I'll be sure to get back to them.
I sure will. Okay. Will there be a service wire charge for different length cuts?
So depending on the product, we have specific lengths that we go with depending on the size and the specific product, but we do a lot of unusual counts. We do a lot of unusual cuts, so it just depends on the product that you're looking at. But we do have standard put-ups, things like that. But you know, if you have a question on a specific put-up and product, please email and we will get you that link.
All right. I don't see any more questions, so I think we're going to go ahead and call it for today. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Thanks, everyone.